Howdy folks, Doc here from Last Best Tool, and today I thought I'd share some of my thoughts on the M12 Milwaukee Fuel right angle die grinder. It seems to be a tool that's generating a lot of opinions, you know, from absolutely love it to absolutely hate it, and then maybe just a bunch of people who are disappointed. My take right off the bat, I really like this thing. Does it have some significant limitations? Absolutely. And if you work within kind of that area where this thing does a good job, then it'll please you. You'll be happy with it. It'll do all the things that you want it to do. But as soon as you go out of what it's good for, it disappoints faster than most other tools. So, what is it good for? Well, it is a nice high-speed adjustable die grinder that spins plenty fast, uses a small battery, a lightweight battery. In fact, I'm going to pop that one out. I'll throw, it's an old school 1.5 amp hour. Basically, it does really well for shorter term tasks, you know, not very long. And not a lot of pressure on the wheel up here. And the reason is it must have some really kind of sensitive overload circuitry. I don't know if it's for heat or for the juice on the motor, you know, running too much resistance or something, but it will shut down. It's like clockwork. So you have to back off. It's got a really low tolerance for being overdriven. But if you operate within those parameters, it's great, which means it might take you a little longer. It is not an air tool. It is nowhere near an air tool. Don't even think along those lines. So don't get your expectations into the air tool range or even the higher, larger battery range. I mean, if you want power, you know, you can go up with the M18. This is a M18 fuel angle grinder. I mean, this thing, if you need something big, go with something big. If you want some finesse, if you want some lightweight ability to get into, you know, kind of cramped environments, get this. That's what it seems to be for. So it's not a die grinder for, you know, decorroding some giant engine block or something, or removing gaskets or whatever the pros do with them. It's a small task, precision instrument. And that is what it's really good for. I get a lot of parts, extra pieces that I can run on this thing off Amazon. You can buy them in bulk and then just use them up. And that also means run smaller wheels and, you know, keep it light so you don't burn up your limited energy trying to turn large wheels. You know, I've played around with some bigger wheels. I think this is like a 2-inch max, maybe 2. I think it's 2, not 2.5. But you can run that or smaller. Try to keep it light. You'll get better performance. The runtime is pretty short. I mean, it seems like they've put a lot of effort into getting something that turns this fast in this light handle. So I think it burns through batteries faster than most people expect. Something I really don't like is this kind of a sort of like an angle grinder. I forgot the name. Kind of a palm switch here. It's pretty sensitive, you can see, and a lot of times you're moving around. So, you know, when you're trying, it's hard. Unless it's full on, it's going to be hard to keep stable RPMs. I kind of wish they would use maybe a limiter, or like on, you know what, they've on their Dremel, Milwaukee Dremel, interesting, on their whatever these kinds of tools are called, say, rotary tool. On their rotary tool, you can sort of set a limit. So even though the on and off is all on, you know, I can dial it, and then that would be nice if they had some kind of a system like that, where it would just hold. This sort of does that, but it doesn't have it quite with the same precision I'd like, and that's almost also setting how it will react. Or when they've used the, say on the multi-tools, they did the same thing. So they've got an on-off switch and then the ability to dial in the speed that you want to just hold, since you're probably using it for quite a while at the same speed. And they did it with the same with their M18 version as well, where you've got this big toggle or knob, spinning knob down here to set it, and then just turn it on and go. So when they come out with a Gen 2 one of these, that's what I'm expecting. I don't think you really need this, this kind of a paddle switch, because you're not wearing a heavy glove generally. It's for precision work, which also means precision spinning. Anyway, so do I like it? Yes. Is it worth 180 bucks, or almost the same as what one of these costs? That's up to you. To me, this gets way more use, as you can tell, than my angle grinder. And in fact, a lot of times I'll be using a corded one if I'm like grinding on cement or something, cutting metal. But the larger ones do, larger cordless tools do have their place. Would I recommend it? It would all have to be with whether or not you can operate or be happy within the limitations of what it does. It does a small number of things incredibly well. It does not do a large number of things, and it is no way near in performance to an air tool. But an air tool is a whole different animal. So if you need those capabilities, or you can live with them, then yes, this is definitely one of my favorite tools. But if you're expecting battery-powered air tool performance, forget it. It doesn't last that long. It's really sensitive to pressure. I mean, you can just kill it automatically, just like clockwork, pushing down a little bit. And the control, this big wonky handle on a precision instrument, or wonky paddle switch. If you're okay with all those, yeah, it's dynamite. It's a fabulous tool. And do I recommend it? Well, if you have the same needs as I do, then absolutely I do. So that's my opinion. With that, Doc out.